ninjas, what's up? How you doing? You know what today is? You know what today is. Thunder Pumper Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone had a good pump Monday. Hope you enjoyed the last video. If you haven't, go check it out. Dropped last night. So I'm hoping I drop this video tonight. If not, then you'll be watching this video on a Whack-A-Gwanny Wednesday, okay? Because just depends on what time I get home, and then of course if it takes forever to upload. Just pulled up at this house. As you can see, I am with the dump trailer. I gotta pick up some of the old trees that I pulled out a couple of weeks ago, and I just left them in the back because at the time I didn't have my dump trailer with me. And so I gotta go get those, but there's a stump in the back that I had cut up a tree that had fallen over from a storm probably a couple months ago. And originally we said, hey, let's leave the stump because we may cut some more trees and that way I can get them all at once. But we haven't done any more of the trees slash planting American hollies this season, so probably maybe this next fall or next spring. But in the meantime, he does not just want that stump to sit there the rest of the year. It doesn't look good, and I agree with him, but that was our original plan, and I guess he changed his mind. So he told me, can you get that stump? Well, I told him I'm gonna try my best to get that stump cut up with the chainsaw and get it pulled out, you know, cut it up with a chainsaw as small as possible and then yank it out somehow or something. I'll see, we'll assess it when I'm over there. And I'm trying to avoid bringing an excavator, that's what I told him, for just one small stump. Now, it's gonna be a pain, I'm not gonna lie, and it's pretty decent size, but I think once I chop it up a little bit with the chainsaw, dig up around a little bit with the pick, and I did bring my saw with me, and what I plan on doing is when I dig it up around a little bit and cut it up with the chainsaw, if there's still some pretty heavy roots down going into the ground, instead of using my chainsaw, because the quickest way to ruin a chain, ninjas, is to put the chainsaw in the ground, which my chains are probably not the best anyway. And then I'll take the saw and just cut them down into the ground. So anyway, that is what I'm doing. I gotta knock it out. It is 11 o'clock already, so by the time I finish this, get home, drop the dump trailer off, get the utility trailer, and go knock out a few yards. It's gonna be a long day, not to mention it's already really humid and hot. Truck's reading only 83, but it feels like 98 or 100 with the humidity. And I had a late start because this morning I had to take the old red 93 to the emissions test. Where I live here, we have emissions, unfortunately, and it passes every year. Old red is doing really good, but now I got to renew the tag because it expires at the end of this month, and that's just around the corner. So normally I don't wait the last minute, but I've been really busy. So I'll try to get some footage for you, at least at the stump over there, and see if I'm capable or able to do it. Worst case scenario, I'm not going to be successful and I'll have to figure out a different way to yank it out. I hate to bring an excavator, go rent one and bring it just for that one little stump, but you know, that is sometimes what you have to do. So anyway, thank you for joining for another video. Let's get to work. And hey, real quick, and I promise this is short. The hardest thing about going solo. So the hardest thing about going solo is the side work. It's not, well, I mean, it is hard keeping up with all the yards, especially if you have a lot of yards. This week, I don't have as many as I did last week. So one week I have a little more than the other. This is considered, I guess you could call it, a shorter week, even though on this week I do have the church and a couple of other bigger properties. But, you know, it's still quite a bit of yards. So last week I ended with 82. I did go yesterday and quote that new yard that I did not get to the last Sunday. And, you know, I may be getting it. I don't know. I got to send some quotes. Real nice guy. Actually found me through YouTube, and very loyal ninja. And he said he enjoys all the videos, watches all the videos, and is ready to turn his words, ugly yard, into a masterpiece. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, enough. That's the hardest part, is the side work. So even if you can keep up with all your mowing and stuff. It's when customers ask for some shrubbery work, mulch job, things like this, right? A little brush pickup or dealing with a small little stump. It's just really stressful when you're trying to get all that thrown into your busy schedule with the maintenance, the mowing. So that would be the hardest part about going solo, because when you do have help, that side work is nothing. It's just like another day mowing. But when you're solo, it can really set you back. Even a small little shrub job that might take 45 minutes to an hour, it'll set you back 2-3 yards that you're gonna have to keep pushing throughout the week, because you know those two hours or 1 hour or whatever, you could have knocked out those 2 yards, but instead now you can't get it within that day, and then you're having to push them around. All right, I told you it's not long. Let's go. It's really the small amount. This is nothing. It's like 1 or 2 little trees I had yanked out from the flower bed right here. This little pile right there and right there. So they are pretty heavy. As you can see, the roots right here are pretty good size, and it was quite the challenge even bringing them over here, but it's time to cut them up, throw them in the dump trailer. But let me show you real quickly the stump that I'm talking about back here. Grass is kind of wet, looks like irrigation. So that's pretty good size. So I'm gonna do my best with the chainsaw to just work my way down, chop it up. I'm not really trying to get all this whole thing out, but maybe take the pick, dig around it, and then wherever I see the roots, take the saw and actually just cut it off. But I gotta first work my way down and get it smaller, because this thing is, oh yeah, this thing ain't moving. So I told him I'm gonna try, but these are doing really good. Look at this one. Look how tall it is. Sometimes we would do it a couple of years in a row, and then sometimes we would skip a year. It depends what kind of other projects and things he may have. Remember, he got the whole house painted just recently, so you know, he's doing a little bit of here and there, but eventually these trees, I have a feeling, are gonna go. We definitely talked about these trees. They're all gonna go. I don't know if they're all gonna go at once or if we're gonna do just 1 or 2 at a time. All right, let's get this done so I can get to mowing, because I got a good list that I need to get done. Oh, I need to go ahead and get these ramps tucked underneath, because this is where the top dressing machine spreader was, and I had to take it out, and I just left those there. Hey, I just want to point out real quickly, I know this is probably common sense, but anytime you have to lift your dump trailer and do anything underneath it, man, please be careful, because these things do not depend on those hydraulics. You could have a line loose, it could come off. Hydraulics fail all the time on people. So always put something underneath to just prevent or give you enough time to move out of the way if something was to come down. That's the only one I have on me. If I had another one, I'd go ahead and put it in the other side. I know it's probably not much, but it's better than nothing. Even though I was underneath it just for a few seconds on each side to put these. But if this comes down and you don't have anything, you might as well say goodbye to your hand. And that would be actually the least of your worries. What if you had your head tucked in there? I mean, you would be dead instantly on the spot. So please be careful anytime you guys, if you own a dump trailer or if you're renting dump trailers, do not depend on these hydraulics. But I'm done. That's all I was doing. I was just putting those back. But you could really lose your life with these things. And also, I don't know what you ninjas use for your fuel and oil when it comes to your small little engines like this, like a chainsaw or anything that requires mixed fuel. I mean, you can use the same fuel that you use, of course, with your trimmers. If you've got a mixed fuel trimmer, you know, oil and gas. But I buy these 50-in-1 by True Fuel, because a lot of times when I'm using the chainsaw, I don't really have the utility trailer with me with all my mixed fuel, so I keep these in the toolbox, and usually it's good. I get a couple of these. I know there's probably better brands out there or other options, but this is what I use. And then I just get any kind of Pro Select premium bar and chain oil. Always want to make sure you keep your chain lubed up when you're using it. And this one looks like it's a little loose, so I'm going to tighten it. You don't want to over tighten your chain because it'll snap, and you don't want it loose because it'll fall off. So you want it just right. This one is just a tad bit loose, so we're going to tighten that up and should be good to go. All right, ninjas, so I got all those in the dump trailer that were right here. Figured I'd give you an update before I keep going or before I stop, one or the other, because normally the little technique that I am trying usually always works on, you know, that size. But this is a pretty big stump, and it's fighting me. So I've cut it up quite a bit, as you can see, and I've picked up all the pieces that I've cut with the chainsaw. That's about as far as I'm willing to go with the chainsaw. I have to go in different angles, of course, because it's like 2-in-1. And then what I've done is I've taken the pick and I've dug all the way around. I'm gonna have to go again to kind of clean it up. And I have discovered, while I do that, I discover where the roots are. And instead of putting my chainsaw into the ground and ruining the chain, of course, I take the saw and I cut them off. I basically disconnect it. But this sucker is not budging. I've cut quite a couple of big ones, quite a good size of roots. Like there's 1, 2. This was a really big one right here. I'm wondering if there's a couple through here. So what I'm getting ready to do is take the pick and go around one more time, and then I'm going to go around one more time with the saw to see if there's any other roots that are not visible at the moment. And if that still doesn't work, then that's it. I'm done. I quit for today. Well, ninjas, this sucker is not moving. As you can see, I've cut quite a good sized chunks all the way around, and there must be some still at the very bottom. I mean, but this, if I was making any progress, I wouldn't quit. But after cutting so many pieces and this thing's not even budging, yeah, I'm just wasting my time at this point. But I told the customer that I would try, and you know, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least I tried. It was worth the shot. Gave me quite the workout. It is so freaking hot. The sun is not out actually at the moment, but it is so humid. It's surreal, especially when you're hammering with the pick and doing some actual manual labor. My hat is drenched. It's dripping of sweat. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update. I am done here. I'm gonna pack all my stuff up and go home and try to go knock out a few yards before I lose daylight. I really thought after I cut these two, because they seem to be the biggest out of the bunch around, I was like, yeah, this is it. And after cutting them, still not moving. I don't know. Anywho, that's that. I'm back home. I unhooked the dump trailer and got my regular trailer. So something just happened to me at the customer's house right after I finished that last clip, when I was showing you what I've cut and how you know, I'm not going to invest any more time into it. So this is really serious, and I'm sharing this with you because it can happen to any of us. I don't know if you can even tell by my voice, but it's a lot weaker. And I've never experienced anything like this in my 12 years in my career. So when I finished the clip, and when I finished talking to you, I was taking my stuff back to the truck. The customer came out and was like, hey, I guess it didn't come out. It's okay, thanks for trying. I said, no problem. I told you I was gonna try. And I said, I'll probably get my stump guys to get it just grounded up and stuff. And he was like, okay, cool. So thanks for picking up that stuff that you left in the back. I said, no problem at all. And ninjas, I got sick right in front of the customer. All of a sudden I almost fainted, man. I started like getting really dizzy, nauseated, and I started like, I don't know, I've never experienced anything like this. I got weak, you can tell in my voice, and I threw up right in front of the freaking customer too. It's terrible. Luckily I ran over to the grass and not on his driveway. He freaked out, man. He was like, oh my gosh, Nick, are you okay? He came over, put his hand on my back. I said, give me just a minute, man. He's like, buddy, go home, man. I said, well, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so I got home. I went inside, I changed clothes. I had to change everything. I mean, I literally had pants, shirt. I had to take a shower, a cold shower. I had to cool down. I had to bring my body temperature down. I ate something a little bit, and I've been drinking cold drinks. So I Googled my symptoms, and everything that it was showing, what the symptoms are, is pointing towards this direction of what it was. So when you pee, if your pee is like a goldish yellow color, this is one of the signs. Obviously that's a sign of dehydration too. If you get dizzy, nauseated, or vomiting, that's definitely signs of this as well. And then vomiting was the main one. And all of those things are related to heat exhaustion. So I just got heat exhaustion. Now here's the thing, this is why I like mowing. I like mowing because I pull up at a yard, I zip right through, do my thing, right? I'm max 20-30 minutes on average. I mean, if I have a yard for 45 minutes to an hour, that's a big yard, and besides the church. But it's usually about 20 to 30, 40 minutes, let's just say. That's with mowing, trimming, and blowing off. And then I'm back in the truck. I get time to cool off. By the time I get to the next yard, my body temperature has dropped, or cooled down at least. And then I, repeat the cycle. This is why I really don't care to work any kind of hardscape or landscape stuff or anything when it's this freaking hot. So I was over there in one spot messing with that freaking stump for the last 2-3 hours. And if you remember, I even said in the video, I am sweating profusely. I mean, I had sweat dripping off my hat, ninjas. That's how bad it was. And that was a sign, but I didn't realize it at that moment. So please, take care of yourselves out there. It's only gonna get hotter. I mean, that depends where you are, what part of the country you are. And why it's important to take it serious, you become weak. If you have extreme heat exhaustion, your muscles will cramp. That's not the case with me. I don't, at least as of right now. And it's very serious. to take it serious. So I cooled down, I took a shower, I ate, I've been drinking cold drinks, and now I'm back. I gotta go get a few yards done. But the reason you want to take heat exhaustion serious, because what comes next after heat exhaustion? Heat stroke. And that's a whole nother level of problems. I mean, you may have to get admitted in, go to the hospital. Speaking of hospital, Ninjas, my mother just got admitted back into the hospital. She's losing blood. I don't know. We don't know if it's internal bleeding or I don't know, but her blood count was like 4 something, and from my understanding, I think it's supposed to be around 7 or 8. I don't know. So my sister rushed her over there. They'll probably keep her for a couple of days. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because it literally happened. I don't know if you could tell, right as I was finishing that last clip, I wasn't myself. I could tell. I just thought I was exhausted and really needed to get to the truck, but apparently I never made it to the truck. It was embarrassing in front of a customer, but man, he was such a good guy. He's like, "It's all good, buddy. Are you sure you're okay?" He was giving me some drinks and telling me to go on. So I came home, and now I'm ready to. I feel a little better, but I'm still. You can tell in my voice, it's not all there. This is all I'm gonna get to record today. But take care of yourselves. Take the heat very serious, and I'll keep you posted on my mom. Please keep her in your thoughts and prayers if you can. I don't know how serious it is, but obviously it's serious enough for her to be admitted. Take this stuff serious. This is the first time this has happened to me in 12 years. And I was telling Mama Ninja, I said, this is why I like mowing. I like to be moving. I want to move, get it done, get back in the truck and go. I don't like to stay in one place when it's 100 degrees. Truck's showing 94, plus the humidity, it's probably 104. So this is why I like moving. I enjoy lawn care, but I have to keep moving. And I'm that type of person too. I can't stay still in one place. That's why I could never be a painter, right? Painters, you have to be in one place and you got to have patience. I'm not about that life. I like lawn care because I like to be moving. I like to be active and moving.
Saving green.
All right, enough. I gotta go.
Saving green, be the team.